I'm here with ASU water polo player Vanda Baksa, and I shouldn't just call you an ASU water polo player. You're a record breaker. You come in as a freshman this year. I come here to talk about one record, having the most in a regular season as a freshman, and then today you come out and you have 10 total points in a game, which is a new ASU record. So you're living up to the hype so far, right?
Yeah, I'm very happy about that. But that's probably a teamwork, because when I have a chance to shoot or steal the ball, the other players working for me. So that's a teamwork.
So you're coming to ASU. I want to get in a little bit just about your life and your journey. So you come from Budapest, Hungary. What was it like growing up there for you? And we'll get into more after that.
Yeah, I love living in Budapest. I have a big family, so we are very close to each other. So when I came here, it was really hard time for me, because I've never been that far before.
So what made you decide to want to come to the United States and to come play water polo at Arizona State?
Because I think in here I can do the education and the sport too, and I don't have to choose between these two.
So you talked a lot about being big on family and having a lot with your family. Do you do like weekly FaceTime calls? Do you call them every day? Do you check in? Like, how do you and your family kind of still talk a lot?
Yeah, after every morning practice, I'm FaceTiming with my mother, because I think they are 8 hours later than us. Okay. No, earlier, yeah. So we can have time to FaceTime, and they just tell me about her day, and I'm telling how was the practice, so it's a great time.
By the way, there's another game going on behind us. We've got Zusa Pacific and Harvard as well, who you've been able to play, and that's who you set the points record against. But going back to your family, how many siblings do you have? I actually don't know that answer.
Yeah, I have 3 siblings. I'm in the middle. I'm the second one.
Okay. Yeah. So do they all watch your games? Is it kind of a family event when they're able to watch games, or how does that work?
Yeah, if they have time, they always. My mother is always watching it. They just don't on the Tinder, Twitter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Twitter. Yep. Twitter. Yep.
Yeah, and if there is no video in the game, she's following there.
So they're scrolling pretty much every 5 minutes. They're saying, "Oh, another goal! Oh, another goal! Oh, another assist!" Right? That's how that goes during a game.
Yeah, they are happy about me.
That's cool. So coming to the United States and kind of learning the culture and the language and a lot from your teammates, can you tell me some of the phrases that you've learned from your teammates that you can share that are way different than anything you had back home? Phrases or any sort of American things that just seem odd to you that you've learned about?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
It's a tough one, huh? There's a lot you can't say. I understand that. I know when you learn different languages, people will teach you things that you don't always want to say on camera. I get that. So far, though, in your few months here, what's been your favorite part of being at Arizona State and playing on this team?
Yeah, I love the weather because at home is really chilly now, so I love being in the sun. And also I love my teammates. They are helping me a lot, especially they helped me a lot in the first few weeks, but I think I'm getting better, so yeah.
So they're helping you a lot. What have you done to help them? Like, what have you brought from Budapest that you've kind of given to them as far as just, I don't know, a food or a phrase or anything like that?
Yeah, they already had 3 Hungarian from at home, so I'm not kind of new in here.
Okay.
So really not anything. Maybe in the practice I'm trying to help them out. If I know something different, if I'm seeing something different, I'm trying to help them. But they also trying to help me if I'm seeing something different, so yeah, we got each other.
You've played a lot of big water polo games, obviously, back home, and now you've come here. What's been the biggest difference for you from what you were playing there in World Cups and things like that to now playing in college? What's been the biggest difference for you?
I think in Europe, it's so much, there is so much, so we are so much aggressive, and the referees not really get penalties for everything or explosions. So in here we don't have that. We are getting so much exclusion and everything for easy things. Then at home it's not really. specific.
So there have been a few penalties on you and exclusions where you're like, back home that wouldn't be, but here it is. Are you learning that?
Yeah, that was a hard time. In the first few games, I always had at least 2 exclusions, and I didn't even know why, so I didn't understand it, but now I think I'm get it now.
So you're clearing that up. You're kind of figuring out this game. What has Coach Todd Clapper been able to help you as far as that adjustment? I know I've read somewhere before he's helping you with classes, but even in the pool, what part of your game has he been helping you with?
Yeah, all of the coaches is trying to help me basically with everything. If I want to do more practice, they are staying here and they are helping me basically everything what I really want to do. So
that's awesome. So your studies, you mentioned that earlier. That's one reason why you came here. You're studying sports business, correct?
Yeah.
Why'd you choose that major?
I choose that major because of my father, because I really don't know what I want to do after water polo, and I just know that I want to stay in sport, and maybe that's a good opportunity to do it.
So what part of sports business did you get from your father then?
He just loved every sport basically. He played water polo, not for a long time, but he was the one who wanted me to start water polo too.
So when did you start water polo then?
I think I was 10 years old when I started water polo.
And were you naturally just out there scoring, 8 goals a game back then, or did this take a long time to get where you are now?
No, it's take a really long time and a really hard time.
Okay. So I want to go a little bit more into just kind of moving here and what it was like for you. So when you first arrived in Arizona, this was, what month were you arriving in Arizona? January. So you probably had heard Arizona was hot, and it wasn't in January, right?
Yeah.
So was it kind of similar weather to where you're coming from, or was it way different weather when you got here?
It was different because in here is so much warmer compared to Hungary. I think in Hungary it's -1 Celsius or something like this now, so it's so much warmer compared to this now.
So we'd be inside doing this. Would you also be playing inside in Hungary? Is it more inside pools or?
Actually, when our team was practicing, we had 1 inside pool and 2 outside pools, so we can switch whenever we want compared to the weather. Yeah.
Okay, so did you ever have to do it when it was super cold, just as like a punishment to go still in the outside pool?
It was not a punishment, but yeah, I feel like it was a punishment.
Because when I played in high school, we had that a few times where we had that option, and if we had a bad game, it was laps in the pool when it was like 20 degrees outside, and we're like, okay, we're going to be here for 3 hours when it's freezing. You don't want to get out. Pool's not heated yet, because they wouldn't heat it for the men's season. They'd heat it for the women's season.
Yeah.
Understandable. They played in the winter, we played in the fall, but yeah. That's interesting to hear. Is there any advice you would give to yourself now that you're kind of settled in or getting settled in here that you would give yourself 3 months ago before you moved here as far as what to expect moving here?
Maybe that to live fully every day because I was maybe in the past or in the future so much and I'm worrying so much about it, so I'm just trying to live every day fully.
I love that message. Anyone that follows me on Instagram sees me post stuff like that on my story all the time. I read a lot of books. Where'd you learn that? Was that just from living, or did someone tell you that, or how'd you learn that?
Yeah, that's just living.
Living in the moment. Don't worry about the past. Yeah. Don't worry about the future. I know we didn't really touch too much on phrases you learned, but are there any maybe Hungarian phrases that you could teach me right now, or any words I need to know, like hi, hello, that I should be able to say?
Yeah, you can say Szia. That means hello.
Okay. Yeah. Szia.
Szia. Hogy vagy?
Hogy vagy?
Yeah.
Hogy vagy?
Yeah, that means how are you?
How are you? Okay. Yeah. So that's how you would open a conversation. Okay. Yeah. So now I need to take a trip to Hungary sometime, and at least I can open a conversation. From there, we'll see how it goes.
Really beautiful, so you should go, especially the capital city.
Absolutely. What is it you miss most other than your family about being there?
Maybe the transportation, because in here we only have bus and my teammates who has a car, they can bring me whenever I want to go, but at home we can just use the train, the tram, everything basically, and I can go whenever I want to go somewhere else. and now it's a little bit difficult.
So they have a lot more of that out there, and it's a lot easier access than, say, the buses here or the light rail here. They have more of that, but more advanced?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we really do live in a bubble here in America then, because sometimes like that's something I never would have thought of, but that's actually really cool. I would love to check that out sometime. Looking forward just to the rest of the season before you wrap things up. I mean, what do you expect from yourself? Obviously, you already own like 5-6 records for single season or game, and you might have a chance for some more, but what are you expecting out of yourself the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think I just want to keep up the good work and do my best always.
Do your best always. I think we'll end it on that one. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.